Jean-Claude Van Damme was born Jean-Claude Camille Francois van Berenberg on October 18, 1960, in Berchem St. Agathe, Brussels, Belgium. He is the son of Eliana and Eugene van Berenberg, who were an accountant and a florist, and he also has a sister, Veronique van Berenberg. However, he is known as the Muscles from Brussels to us, and he had everyone taking notice in the late 80s with those amazing splits and his buns, which he had to show in almost every movie he was in.
I'm not showing my butt.
Oh!
Yeah, I show more of a, maybe more acting and more action than my buttocks.
Oh yeah, because you've shown your buttocks in every film.
No.
I mean, before this.
Yeah, 2 movies. Don't push your luck, pal.
Wait, okay, wait.
Early on, he had acting aspirations and it was not going so well. Then, in 1988, came Bloodsport. This movie was based on a true story-ish. Jean-Claude had charm and lightning-fast speed along with those dance moves. As the 80s action phase began to fade, that is until the Expendables brought them back,
Nice knife.
we would not hear much from Jean-Claude after Lionheart, except for a stint on the TV show Friends as himself.
My friend thinks you're cute. So what should I tell her?
You can tell her I think her friend is cute.
Even as Jean-Claude got older, his splits remained intact, as you can see in this iconic ad.
And a mindset to master the most epic of splits.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time? And who can say if your love grows?
Afternoon, everybody. In the 1980s, catchphrases, fighting and action were all the rage. But let's take a look at the most iconic action heroes of the 1980s.
1, 2.
Drop the gun. You are under arrest.
One thing Peter Weller as RoboCop would tell us is there is no escape. However iconic this role was, this is not what I would remember Peter from. It would be Buckaroo Banzai.
Hotel Bravo, 88. Do you read? Do you read over? I'm getting zip from that. What is going on? This is control. Stop my scope. This is Chase.
Buckaroo Banzai and his crime-fighting team, the Hong Kong Cavaliers,
Let's rock and roll!
must stop evil alien invaders from the 8th dimension who are planning to conquer the Earth. That is some 80s magic right there. But it would be the RoboCop that would make Peter a true action star, and the legacy would live on in video games, and of course they would have to reboot it. While future Mel Gibson certainly had some turbulent times and not wonderful opinions, 80s Mel Gibson was a huge star, and not just an 80s star, an action star. And that is largely due to Mad Max. I mean, every kid growing up had that poster on their wall. And Tina Turner with Mad Max and Beyond Thunderdome? Iconic. Then a few movies would come out as the Lethal Weapon series.
Ceasefire on number 7, number 8. Weapons in safe position.
Downrange target.
Hey, look at that, will you? Not bad for an old man.
Okay, step aside, old man.
Sergeant Dennis, call your watch captain. Sergeant Dennis, call your watch captain.
Have a nice day.
Lethal Weapon almost starred Bruce Willis and Danny Glover. However, Mel was our Martin Riggs, and it was a perfect fit for the insane Riggs.
Shut up! We'll stop the fuck up! Put him down! I'm warning you! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shut up! Shoot! Shut up! Shoot! Shut up!
Roger Murtaugh is one day away from retirement, but there would be no rest in Lethal Weapon and its 4 sequels. While this song instantly makes you think of the namesake Rocky, there is no denying that Apollo Creed was a formidable action force, and that would be Carl Weathers. Carl was a former athlete turned actor. Sadly, spoiler alert, in the Rocky series he does not make it.
So much punishment.
But then, here comes Predator, where he does not make it. But then, Action Jackson. So it all evens out, right?
Hi, Mr. Ed! Called about a paint job?
Lesson number 1.
Guards! Guards! You son of a bitch! Shh!
One thing to note is Chuck Norris is an actual Texas Ranger as well as on TV, but throughout his career he has been in over 30 butt-kicking films. While his political views may be debatable,
if we look to history, our great country and freedom are under attack.
We're not here for that. We are here for some 80s action, and Chuck was it. Before the memes, there was Delta Force, Force Vengeance, and all the other forces.
Use the Force, Chuck.
Look what the Lynches gave us. A needlepoint of Chuck Norris from Walker, Texas Ranger.
You know, they say Chuck Norris is so tough, there's no chin under his beard. There is only another fist.
That's ridiculous. Chuck Norris?
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Norris?
No.
Shut up!
Walter, I am not worth it.
Shut up! This!
What?
I said this, scumbag! Moonwalk! I hate this! He's going good!
Bruce Willis was the handsome face with loads of chemistry with Sybil Shepherd in Moonlighting, so you would think the rom-com path would be the one Bruce would follow. However, then he dipped his toes in a little action in 1988 with Die Hard.
Yeah, that's a wild goose chase over here at Nakatomi Plaza. Everything here is okay. Over. But nobody has no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, God, everything is
Welcome to the party, pal!
And it was an instant classic, the everyman who would save the hostages in Nakatomi Plaza. While Bruce Willis would have a diverse career, for us it's all about the action. He would continue kicking butt in The Fifth Element.
Send someone to negotiate.
I've never negotiated. You mind if I try? No, sure. We're sending somebody in to negotiate!
Anybody else want to negotiate?
Where did he learn to negotiate like that?
And later on in The Last Boy Scout, among many others. And of course more Die Hards. Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard 3, Die Hardest with a Vengeance, Die Hard 4, the most Die Hardiest of all hardest, Die Hard 4.3, the absolutely diest hardest. Okay, maybe not.
Let's relax. Let's relax, Paul. You're doing great. She likes you. She likes you. She likes you. You know why? Because you're a neat guy. You are the man. You are the man. Still got it. Still sexy. You're just a love machine. I'm just a love machine.
Now back to this song, which means Rocky. Aside from action, he is one person people love doing impressions of.
Mick! 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 Well, my house stinks. Yeah, that's right, it stinks. My whole life stinks. You just need proper management, you kid. You need proper management.
You do, though.
It's mostly just me.
Well, it is. It mostly right?
Yeah, I do all my own stunts, you know what I mean?
While Rocky was a movie about the underdog, that's not too far from the truth. Sylvester Stallone had trouble getting roles and no one wanted him to act, even in Rocky. The only way they gave him this job is to give him literally pennies on the dollar of what they would pay another actor. After a short break from Rocky, there would be First Blood, which was a gritty movie about an unwilling soldier who wanders into a small Washington town in search of an old friend. But he is met with intolerance and brutality by the local sheriff played by Brian Dennehy. When deputies restrain and shave Rambo, he flashes back to his time of a prisoner of war and unleashes fury on the officers. He narrowly escapes the manhunt, but it will take his former commander, played by Richard Crenna, to save the hunted from the hunters.
They didn't know they had started a war that they could never win. Sylvester Stallone in First Blood.
I mean, what can you say about Sylvester Stallone? He can fight and he is tough and he is still going strong. After First Blood, which there was one kill in First Blood, there would come Rambo, which had 70 kills in it, so things got a little more serious. Then we would have The Joy of Cobra with lines like this.
Get him, Mando, órale. Yeah,
It's bad for your health, you know?
What is pinche? Yeah, it's
Me.
And a wee bit later with Tango and Cash, and of course some over the top, and who could forget the classic Frankenstein song.
But wiser, you created a monster, and they call him Frankenstein. And the tavern down the street is the laboratory where he makes the transformation all the time.
Well, up here in Elk Snap, ma'am, see, we don't know about them closets, nor bathrooms neither. Woman, you're lucky I am housebroke.
You were listening.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to avoid.
Well, you can avoid it in the future because you're fired.
Oh, you're unbelievable. That's fine with me. Just pay me the money you owe me.
Next we have Kurt Russell. The roles taken by Kurt were a bit more out there than other action heroes at the time. For example, Escape from New York, The Thing, and my personal favorite, Big Trouble in Little China.
We're almost out of here. Now from here on it gets pretty normal. Offices, storerooms, a nice false front. I count to 3. I open that door, and we move out.
Everybody got that?
Ready? Follow the leader. 1, 2, 3. We may be trapped.
In my opinion, it's hugely underrated and so iconic. And on a side note, when I was typing furiously on this script, it autocorrected Kurt Russell to Crust Russell, so sorry about that, Crust.
It occurred to the jury that anybody could have got some of my clothes and stuck them up the furnace.
We ain't buying that.
Quit that bickering over there. Windows, wheel that defibrillator over here. Put them on those paddles.
You're gonna have to sleep sometime, McCready.
Oh, real light sleeper, child. Anyone tries to wake me. Clear! Clear!
Clear.
Together again, huh?
Wouldn't miss it.
How we doing?
Same as always.
That bad, huh?
I think my eyes are getting better. Instead of a big dark blur, I see a big light blur. There's nothing to see. I used to live here, you know.
You're gonna die here. Convenient.
Harrison Ford was the leading man of the 80s. He gave us the lovable smuggler Han Solo in the Star Wars series, and some sci-fi action in Blade Runner. Even Witness, where he was protecting Kelly McGillis in an Amish community, embodied the action hero.
Don't pull the guns down! Fuck for night, guns down! Okay, the guns down! Guns down! It's down. It's down, don't hurt me.
However, if there was one solid reason why Harrison Ford is close to the top of our list, it would be
And my mother's ears, but the rest belongs to you.
I'll be back, Benny. You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Any carry-on luggage?
Just him.
Feature film. Your flight attendants are Susan and Lance, and I'm Vic. We're here to make...
Do me a favor. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
And for our number one, which really should be a no-brainer for anyone who was around or who appreciates the 1980s, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. In full, that's Arnold Aloy Schwarzenegger, who was born July 30th, 1947, in Austria. This Austrian-born American bodybuilder and film actor and politician rose to fame through blockbuster roles and later as the governor of California. He was and is a very large presence, whose career really started to take off when he starred in Conan the Barbarian.
And unto this Conan, destined to bear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
And yeah, there were some smaller films at the beginning, for example Hercules in New York, where his accent was so thick, his audio was dubbed.
Like it down there.
Let me be the judge of that. I'm tired of the same old faces, the same old things.
However, it was Conan that really got him his start. And yeah, there were some smaller roles around that time, but from there it seemed like there was no stopping Arnie. Just in the 80s decade alone, we would see Red Sonja, Commando, Predator, Raw Deal, Running Man, and of course, this iconic role.
I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.
I'll be back.
Originally, he was meant to be the hero John Connor. Then one audition with James Cameron would change all of that. And of course there would be some missteps along the way, as well as some great comedies. Arnold would be another one that people do love to impersonate.
Arnold said, if you're going to be a movie star, the movies can't only be successful in America.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. 4.5.
That was also kind of a Schwarzenegger a little bit.
Yeah. I'm 4.5, father.
I'm also horsey. Chop your. That's a good noise to make.
Well, now you have half the story, but you will not believe what the ladies were up to over here. Talk to you later.